All right, what's up? What's up? What is going on, y'all? Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody has been having a great week so far. We're halfway through the first week in December. We are nearing the end of the year. So I'm super excited to get this one underway because we're talking about how to leave the stubborn belly fat behind in 2023. This is one thing that I know a lot of you guys have struggled with. It's something that you really want to make changes with. It's something that you're frankly fed up with. So that's why I wanted to come in, deliver a quick, powerful 10 to 12 minutes, helping you break down exactly how to make changes in this area for yourself that'll finally get your body to where you want it to be. But most importantly, not to say that your body and your physique and the way that you feel about yourself from an aesthetic perspective isn't important, because it is. But most importantly, when we can get rid of this stubborn belly fat, it's going to help us get tremendously healthier, skyrocket our energy, improve our strength. Everything about our lives is going to change for the better once you can get that quote unquote spare tire off. So before we hit live, I just want you guys to jump in. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know that you're here. Say what's up. And just tell me what you got going on. If you got a workout in, let me know that. If you've been eating some good meals today, let me know that. If you have any specific questions that you might want me to cover during this live podcast, let me know that as well. All right, we're gonna get into a squat in three, two, one. Oh, my bad, false alarm. What's going on, squad? And welcome back to the podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about how to finally get rid of the stubborn belly fat heading into 2023. At the time of this recording, it is December 7th, 2022. So we have just a few days left in the year. So obviously, we're not going to be able to make transformational results. You can still make progress over the next 20 some odd days. You can get in a lot of positive momentum. So I don't want you to just throw the towel in, but uh, we really want to set our eyes towards what we would like to achieve in the year 2023. And if you're stubborn midsection, if that stubborn belly fat, what's up, Donnell over on LinkedIn? What up, Lonnie over on Facebook? I need to zero in on my stomach. This is the perfect podcast for you to be listening to, then, man. You want to zero in on that midsection and get rid of it. We're gonna show you exactly how to do that. Before we do, I want to make sure that if you're listening on the podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any more episodes. And if you're watching live, as soon as this podcast ends, go to the podcast, Montel Harden, on wherever you get your podcast at, and download it there so that it hits your phone every morning at 5 a.m. so that you can listen to it to start the day. All right. So first off, we want to get rid of the stubborn belly fat. First off, we have to figure out and understand where exactly it comes from, why exactly we accumulate this belly fat in this specific area. Just like with anything in life, if you're trying to change it, if you're trying to get better at it, if you're trying to get rid of it, if you're trying to attract more of it, whatever the case may be, you need to figure out exactly how to attract or repel something. We're trying to get rid of the belly fat, so we need to figure out exactly how we attracted it. So, the three biggest culprits when it comes to the accumulation of belly fat specifically, because I know that we all know you might be the dad bod, the beer belly. Like, these are all mantras that we've gotten as men over the years, and it's because of the habits that we're partaking in. They're specifically accumulating fat in the belly, in the around the waistline, and that's what we want to get rid of. So number one is going to be your processed foods. If you have a diet high in processed foods, you are going to accumulate more body fat around the midsection. One reason being is that your body cannot easily digest and absorb the nutrients from these foods because they're non existent. And secondly, because they're extremely high calorie, high energy foods that when you consume them, they actually cause a big quote unquote event inside your blood sugar where your blood sugar spikes, and that messes with your insulin levels. And when your insulin levels start to fall out of whack, then your body starts to store visceral body fat. I made a post a couple days ago talking about the difference between visceral body fat and subcutaneous body fat. Visceral fat being that deep layer of fat. That's that layer of fat that we really don't want on our body. That's that layer of fat that you want to do whatever you can to get rid of because it's going to be directly linked to a lot of comorbidities, your heart disease, your diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, things like that. This is all going to come from visceral fat buildup. But your visceral fat builds up with when you start to become insulin sensitive or insensitive. And once that builds up, now your body starts storing away fat in those places, in those areas. And it's largely due to high calorie, low nutrient foods, which are going to be your processed food options, your chips, your fried foods, your alcohol, your different sugars, and baked goods, things like that. So these types of things are going to be huge. Donnell said, "Does stress have anything to do with it?" 1,000%. Stress impacts our blood sugar levels. Stress impacts our metabolism. So stress definitely does play a huge factor. I think I've done a couple of coachings on that before. I'll definitely make sure to send you something that I've written about stress, but stress definitely plays a factor. And then number two is sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle plays a huge factor into the accumulation of belly fat. See, our body burns calories, it increases your metabolism much faster and much better when you are moving on a regular basis. When you're moving, when you're getting up, when you're being moving around, when you're being active, you're maybe breaking a sweat, or even just consistently walking or consistently standing up, your body burns a lot more calories. So what happens when we're constantly sitting down, which a lot of us are throughout the course of our day, throughout the course of our month, like if you're working from home or if you're working in an office or at a desk or whatever, like a lot of us are, you're sitting down a lot. And when you are, this is throttling your metabolism, it's messing with your digestion, it's messing with your energy levels, and all of these things lend itself to the accumulation of belly fat. And then lastly, is that a lack of lean muscle contributes to increased belly fat as well. Lean muscle is the elixir, it's the fountain of youth, it's the way to stay lean throughout summertime when you're vacationing, you're not working out, throughout the winter time when it's cold and you're not getting steps in. Lean muscle is going to be your best friend. But a lot of guys, lean muscle is deteriorating because we're not lifting, we're not moving often enough, we're not getting in enough high quality protein, like we're just putting ourselves behind the eight ball in a lot of situations. And when you start to deteriorate that lean muscle mass, your body's metabolism slows down. And once that metabolism slows down, you will start to find it much harder to get off fat. And that's a lot of times instead of guys leaning towards, hey, well, you know what? Let me get strong, add back on my muscle, let me focus on that. We start focusing on losing the weight. And when you focus on losing the weight instead of building the muscle, that's where you put yourself in a situation where you're hardly eating and you're trying to run all the time and you're doing a lot of things that honestly don't work in the sake of trying to lose the weight when you shouldn't really be focused on the weight directly anyway. So losing muscle mass is a big reason. So to recap, the biggest reasons you're probably struggling with getting rid of your stubborn fat is you're eating too many low quality, high calorie processed foods. You have a sedentary lifestyle, and then you have decreased your lean muscle mass. And an easy way to know if you've decreased in lean muscle mass is if things are sagging a little bit more, if things are shaking. When you go and grab a pen off the desk, you feel the back of your arm shake, or you put your shirt on and you feel some more rolls. Like it's very easy to see when we've dropped in muscle mass, or you run real fast up a hill and you feel your backside is moving. Like y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It's easy to tell if you're losing out on muscle mass. And if that's you, I want you to fix it in these three ways. Number one is to lift weights and focus on strength. Guys, our body, our hormonal balance, our energy levels, our ambition, everything about us mentally and physically as men is predicated on testosterone. It's predicated on our testosterone levels that also predicate other hormones and chemicals inside our body. And one of the most beneficial things you can do for your testosterone levels is to lift heavy weight, break a sweat, do something physically challenging, and build up lean muscle. All of these things can be accomplished by lifting weights. 500 years ago, It was, cutting down a tree to get your log wood and, tending to the animals in the farm and all these different things. That's why we didn't have to worry about that back then because our natural lifestyle lended itself to what men naturally need to do in order to stay physically healthy. But now that's not the case. Now you can easily spend 10 minutes plop down in 10 hours plop down in one chair. So you have to go and manufacture that level of physical competition, that level of physical exertion, that level of strength output. You have to go and manufacture that for yourself now. And the best place to do it is in the gym. And that's why lifting weights is so important. That's why making sure that you're building up lean muscle is so important because it naturally lends itself in to how your body wants to react. Your body wants to be lean, it wants to be muscular. It wants to your body you want to lift heavy. You want to tax your muscles. Your body wants you to challenge yourself. And if you can embrace this, you don't have to focus on trying to work out to lose weight. Embrace getting stronger, embrace getting more mobile, embrace improving movement patterns, embrace challenging yourself physically, and your body is going to do the rest. And then number two is to move early and move often. It's 12, 12 in the day. You should have a minimum of 13, not 13, minimum of about 2,500 steps right now. 12, 12 in the day. If you're listening to this on a podcast, I guess it could be any time of day. But 12, 12 in the day, you should have at least 2,500 steps under your belt to start the day. You want to get, as soon as you open your eyes, you want to start trying to move your body. Go out for a morning walk. Maybe if you have a treadmill in your house, get 10, 15 minutes on that. Walk around the house and answer emails on the phone. When you go to the office first thing in the morning, park at the end of the parking lot instead of the front. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. You want to foster in a habit and a mindset of as soon as you open your eyes, you are trying to find ways to move your body more. This is going to skyrocket your metabolism. It's going to help you burn more calories. It's going to improve your digestion. And it's going to lend itself into what our bodies naturally want to do as men, which is how you'll start getting that more natural flow of impact and results with your body. If you always feel like you're fighting against your body and you feel like it's impossible to crack the code to getting this stubborn fat off, it's because you're not doing things that naturally lend itself to what your body wants to do. So move early, move often, and you'll fix that. And then last but not least is going to be protein first. Protein first and eating whole, minimally processed foods. Every time you plan a meal out in your head and you think about what you want to eat, you should always think of the protein that you're going to have with the meal. Like, what protein am even if you go to McDonald's, what protein do I want to consume? Let me get the highest quality protein. And that might, push you into, instead of getting the chicken nuggets and the fry meal. Now, because you're thinking protein first, now you get the quarter pounder meal and you take the bread off and you have, two or three different beef patties. And now, instead of a meal that was going to be high fat, high carb, low protein, now you get something that might get you about 60 grams of protein in and only 200 or 300 calories. So that's a completely different ball game. And your body, even though it might not be the best option, thinking protein first is typically going to help you make way better decisions. If you're on a road trip and you're thinking protein first, and you go into the gas station that's you're in the middle of nowhere, you go into a gas station to pump gas and you just need a snack real quick. Instead of grabbing honey buns and a soda, when you think protein first, you might grab a protein shake and beef jerky. Little decisions like this over time transform your body. Little decisions like this over time is how you're going to get that stubborn fat off because you're giving your body what it naturally wants. Muscle is a very important part of our bodies. And if you're consistently feeding that with high quality protein, that's going to make a huge difference and a huge impact. So that's it, squad. To recap, lift weights and focus on strength. Stop working out to lose weight. Never again try to work out to lose weight. Never again try to work out to spot reduce a certain amount of fat in a certain area of your body. Work out to build strength, mobility, cardiovascular endurance, compete with yourself. We need it as men. I promise you, if you're feeling sluggish, lethargic, unmotivated, uninspired, unambitious, and just not in a good place mentally, challenge yourself physically and watch and see how you feel. I promise you there is a direct link between the two. Number two is to move early and move often. Get up as early as you can and start getting some movement in. and try not to stop until the day ends. And then number three, protein first, whole, minimally processed foods. Guys, if you follow this blueprint and you make these three things a priority in your life next year, I guarantee you, you will see tremendously more progress in getting rid of that stubborn fat than you have in years, decades, a quarter of a century, however long it's been for you since you've been struggling with this area. But most of all, I want you to get it off not because I just care about, how you look and I want you to look like, of course, I want you to be confident in yourself. Everybody's confident in themselves in different ways and it's different stages and where you develop that confidence. But most of all, I want you to be healthy. I want you to be energetic. I want you to be confident. I want you to be ambitious. I want you to be, I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to have fun with life. And a big part of having fun with life is getting your physical health where you need it to be. So that's it. That's all, squad. I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this conversation. Tag somebody else that you know needs to hear this. And let's get in the best shape of our lives in 2023. No excuses, no ifs, ands, or buts. We're just going to get it done, squad. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Peace. All right, good podcast. Talk to y'all soon. All right, Facebook.